Welcome to the Critical Cinema Club. I'm Colm.
I'm Sean. Right, so that's...
What's your next one?
My next one is... We've spoken about this before, but the Resident Evil films.
Oh, yeah.
That is a true...
I've still got all the footage so I can put some of that back in.
that really is a true guilty pleasure,
Yeah.
in the greatest sense of the word, because I think a lot of people will be spitting the drinks out now.
Yeah.
But for what it is... It's the greatest type of that crap type of movie. I mean, the first one I think holds up as a decent film. I think most people would agree. It's all right. The first one.
I remember going to see the first one in cinema because Resident Evil was the most popular game. I mean, Resident Evil 2 and
I loved the games.
I think Resident Evil 3 came out just before. Someone will have to correct us in the
well, Resident Evil 2 was 98, right?
Yeah.
Resident Evil was it 2000? Or maybe just after 2000
Yeah,
when Resident Evil came out, the movie. But the strike against the films is creating this brand new character who was in none of the games to make that your main character. Why bother? But whatever, put that to one side for a second.
Yes, we did get a very good comment on our Mary Sue video about that. So
yes, and it's something I do agree with.
And it was a great comment.
Why take an established universe and then change everything about it to fit around a character you want to create?
Yeah, should have just used Jill or
Jill or someone. I mean, they did use these characters eventually.
Yeah, they came in eventually, didn't they? This gets 6.6.
It's a good film, the first one. I think most people would agree.
2002 it came out.
Ah, right. Well, there you are. So the Resident Evil 3 probably was around that time, if not a bit before.
I think Resident Evil 3 probably came out a bit before that. The Resident Evil 3, the game.
Yeah, so if Resident Evil 2 is 98, then it must have.
Yeah.
With the Resident Evil films, as they go on, it gets more and more ridiculous, right?
Well,
they're flying around, there's clones, and she's got powers, and then she ain't got powers, and then this, that, and the other. And it is absolutely ridiculous, but it does it really well.
Yeah.
If you watch the new Resident Evil film, where they've started again...
Yeah, one on Netflix.
Oh my god, it makes the other ones look amazing.
So, just looking at the IMDb scores, we don't use Rotten Tomatoes or Tomatoes. So, Resident Evil Apocalypse, I think, is the second one, isn't it?
Yes.
6.1. Resident Evil Extinction, 6.2. So, that's marginally better than the second one. Resident Evil Afterlife 3D, 5.8.
Yeah.
Resident Evil Retribution. Why did they come up with these stupid names of these? Why don't you call it Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3?
No, because they're exciting, Retribution.
That was 5.3.
Yeah.
And Resident Evil, the final chapter, 5.5.
Well, do you know what's funny is, I think when a lot of Resident Evil... Because there are other people like me who actually do like the films.
I don't think so.
Not many people, though. But this is a good guilty pleasure.
Well, this is like Inception levels here, because of those films... A lot of people don't like Afterlife, and that's my favourite one. So that's the guilty pleasure of the guilty pleasures. So I'm 2 layers deep.
Guilty pleasure of your guilty pleasure of your guilty pleasure.
It is. Afterlife is my favourite one, and it's probably it might be the worst one. I don't know, but it's definitely not well thought of in those circles.
No. Resident Evil, definitely a guilty pleasure for you. That.
And I say it hand on heart. I love it. It's crap, but it's good crap.
Yeah,
it's like a satisfying crap. You're like, oh, that was a good one. No, it's they're good. I think there's a lot of stigma about the films because, maybe rightly so, because they are, most people aren't going to enjoy those.
No.
But if you can switch, it's good. If you want to switch your brain off, just something, because I like the good films where you've got to think about them and dissect it. Fight Club that we've talked about.
Yeah, Fight Club. Yeah. So
if you just want to put a film on where you've got this woman jumping around, chopping people's heads off and blowing things up, it's great. If that's the kind of thing you like, which I do on occasion, it's great for that mood.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick my hat on that and say, yeah, I'm happy to put
I think that's a good shout.
Stop it. Don't open that door.